Howdy folks, hope you're having a good one, and welcome back to Star Wars Outlaws, where to nobody's surprise whatsoever, we pulled off the job and we've been betrayed by Jalen and our mother.
Where are we?
You're okay. Do you think you'll fit in there?
How did you find me?
Rico. Chitinga Sata Uba.
We took our shuttle and came as fast as we could. And now that we got you, we can get out of here.
Thanks, both of you, but I'm not going anywhere.
Jijiwamaki. Titoki Tabola needs.
ND is still under Jalen's control.
He was Jalen's enforcer long before we came into the picture.
And without him, you'd be locked up in some Imperial lab. And you'd be a prisoner on Kijimi. Yeah, we lost. But ND is the only one that can't walk away. Take this and stand aside. Hank, wanna plant some surprises?
Twamabola Dutodis.
You find him, ram this in the restraining bolt, and ND5 is free.
And now you and I find the bridge.
What about the army of bucketheads surrounding us?
This is going to be a very bad idea, isn't it? Then again, it worked for Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Get moving, scum!
Easy. Stay close to me.
What? No, you stick close to me. I've got the blaster. We can't look like we're lost. Where are the turbo lifts?
How am I supposed to know? I was never assigned to a Star Destroyer.
Then again, Han and Luke had to pretend that Chewie was their prisoner because, well, he was a Wookiee. They couldn't exactly stick him in a stormtrooper uniform,
Everything's
could
quiet
they?
here.
So your plan's just to walk up to ND5 with the Freedom Spike?
It should strip that restraining bolt off, right?
Unless it malfunctions. Or you can't get close enough. What if he recognizes your walk?
I get blasted.
So glad we worked this out.
But Gadik was an Imperial, and he's still wearing his Imperial uniform. And he's still got his Imperial credentials.
Rhodian scum.
Very original.
So, I mean, you know, okay, Rhodians aren't particularly well liked by the Empire, but they're clearly still employed by them, so why do we have to pretend that he's my prisoner?
Copy that.
I'm not just overthinking it this time, am I? I mean, this really is stupid.
Trooper, where are you taking this prisoner?
Just, standard transfer, sir.
There's no transfer on the schedule. In fact, I don't even see a record of this prisoner.
Well, I'm not telling the truth, am I?
Orders come straight from the top, sir.
I sincerely doubt that.
Look, I just do what I'm ordered. You want to cause a problem? Sure. Take it up with the ISB.
The ISB ordered this.
Oh yeah, you should contact them. I bet they'd love to hear why their prisoner is being held up. Maybe they'll poke around too, see what you're up to.
No need for that. Proceed, Trooper.
Yeah, because stormtroopers routinely sass Imperial officers like that, don't they?
Nice job.
It's just like dealing with the Kanto police.
There's a control room.
Can you access the ship's terminal? We need to find ND5.
Sure. How are we going to clear it out?
I got it. Stay out of sight for a second.
A stormtrooper in that situation would just say, yes sir, no sir, and then wait for people above their own pay grade to sort out the details. That just, no.
Okay, the camera. Can you shut it down?
Why do they need to shut the camera down? They're both in disguise. What are they afraid the camera's going to see? A stormtrooper escorting a prisoner around? Well, I see which way the camera power cable's going. I mean, so let me get this straight. I'm in a stormtrooper disguise, so I can walk straight past the camera, no problem. Which should be no problem. But Gadik in his prisoner disguise can't. What?
Okay, no one's watching.
There's still gonna be an officer in there.
Sure, I'll take care of them.
So nobody can see Gadik disguised as a prisoner, otherwise the game's up. But we just walk right past the checkpoint with Gadik disguised as a... Oh no. Too stupid. Already.
Getting good at the stormtrooper thing. Kind of scary, actually.
Just bring up the ship's plans.
Accessing its data core.
Any way to hurry this up?
Okay. You're not going to like this.
Sliro, what is he doing here?
It says he's been called in for a conference.
How much you want to bet Jalen and ND5 are gonna be there? If I can get there in time, I can join his escort.
That is a terrible idea.
I'm a stormtrooper, Gadik. To Sliro, I'm invisible.
Unlocking the door. Get to that turbo lift before it leaves.
Also, and this was something that I brought up in the last episode, the plan is still to remove ND5's restraining bolt with Gadik's freedom spike thing.
You've been relieved, Trooper.
What? I didn't hear anything.
Stop wasting my time. You've been relieved of your post, now move.
Of course, sir. I'm leaving.
You don't need no fancy prototype experimental freedom spike whatever to remove a restraining bolt. Luke Skywalker removed R2-D2s in 2 seconds with a flathead screwdriver.
I've never seen such a disorganized ship. That's always how things are run.
Afraid so, sir.
Disgraceful. I despair for the state of the Imperial fleet.
And a couple of people made the point that if you remove ND5's restraining bolt, he reverts back to his original programming. And he's a BX series commando droid. And that could be very, very
The
bad.
gall. The sheer audacity of it. To think anyone would dare summon me from halfway across the Empire? This better be of paramount importance, or someone is going to suffer.
Yes, Director.
But that doesn't mean he's going to go on a murderous rampage the second the restraining bolt's removed. That's not what they thought.
I'll escort you to the bridge, sir.
I know the way. I don't need menials to hold my hand.
Restraining bolts just, well, restrain droids from doing certain things and make them do certain other things, like follow Jalen's orders, for example. I mean, when R2's restraining bolt was removed, he didn't suddenly just start running around performing maintenance tasks on everything. It didn't affect his personality, it just removed the compulsion to obey Luke's orders.
Director Barsha, I understand there has been a security breach.
It's a personal matter.
Not when you've been so careless with critical Imperial intelligence. You have outlived your usefulness to the Emperor.
Jalen.
The Empire accepts your terms, Jalen Rex.
Nice cape. Let me guess, the fur was your idea.
The coordinates to the rebel base.
Set course for Akiva, friend.
The terms.
Lord Vader drives a hard bargain. In exchange for the Akivan rebels, and the return of some very sensitive information. You really haven't figured it out yet.
The terms, Jalen.
The Empire is giving me Zarek Besh. And you.
You told him.
That we're brothers? Felt like a detail.
You've no idea what you've done.
I know exactly what I've done. The Clone Wars were over. Our factories were set to build thousands of destroyers for the Imperial fleet. We would have been the richest family on Corellia.
I did what I had to do.
You accused us of plotting against the Emperor, and for what? A promotion? We had everything, Sliro.
You had everything. I was your father's mistake.
You had a place at the table.
I had scraps. And you never let me forget for 1 second that you were the favorite.
I was the heir!
But we were family. Now, you owe me an empire. So I'm taking yours. You remember ND5?
Don't remember that scar on his chest.
Who you sent to hunt down and kill every last Barsha.
You always did.
I really thought I'd feel something.
So much for tipping the scales, huh? All this for some revenge on your brother?
Well, you should know, Kay. No one hurts you like family. If you're here for the Codex...
I'm here for Andy. And him, I guess.
You're kidding. Well then, come and get them.
Run!
Okay.
Gadik, things went real bad. ND5 saw me, and now he's trying to kill me.
Okay, I'll find you the fastest way to the hangar.
No, I've still got this.
I won't get tired. I won't give up. Get away from me, Kay. Never stop running.
Number of revelations there. Although, while all of that was going on, the one thing on my mind, why was there only one person on duty on the bridge of that Star Destroyer? But anyway, yeah, so Slero and Jalen were brothers. I mean, the clues were all there.
I'm totally lost, Gadik.
You're close to engineering. Just follow the power conduits, and there will be a turbo lift ahead.
Okay, got it.
Okay, it's okay to leave. You had your shot.
As long as your spike works, I still got one more chance.
You should have listened to Rico. I gave you a clean slate. You could have started over.
You don't get it. I don't want to start over. I want my crew.
Right at the beginning of the game, in front of the representatives of the Hutt, Crimson Dawn and Pike cartels, Slero gave that big speech about how he'd had to fight for everything. Nobody ever gave him anything. He'd always lived in the shadow of his older brother and had to take everything that he'd ever earned. Well, that older brother, turns out, was Jalen.
Gadik, where am I?
According to the ship's plans, you're looking at the primary and secondary power cores for the deflector shields.
How much power are we talking? There's gotta be enough to stun a BX droid, right?
ND5's components are shielded, but it's enough to stop him at least.
Tell me how.
You need to cycle up both cores. They will trigger an emergency discharge through the central emitter. Understand?
So I turn on both cores, lure him to the middle, and it stuns him?
Close enough.
Okay, I know BX series commando droids are tough, but the amount of power being run to a Star Destroyer's shield generators won't be enough to stun him. It should be enough to vaporize him. But hey, whatever, this is the plan. Uh-oh. Needless to say, it's probably wise to avoid getting spotted by ND5 when we're attempting to put this plan into motion. Because he's going to try to kill us. Also, I'm completely unarmed. He just went this way, didn't he?
Okay, good for you for getting out of the escape pod. But you should have run. Now I can only hope ND5 doesn't finish the job before I get there.
Get where, Jalen? How do you know where I'm going? I don't even know where I'm going. Here's the thing about removing ND5's restraining bolt that just doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
There's the emitter. Looks like I need to set up the trap from the console.
I mean, I agree that we are going to need to remove his restraining bolt because that's what's forcing him to follow Jalen's orders.
Nothing happened. Something's interfering with the cores.
And I agree that it should be difficult to remove ND5's restraining bolt, but not because it's a restraining bolt. I mean, they're only soldered on, they're not difficult to remove. But ND5's should be difficult to remove, and we should have to go through all of these shenanigans to get it off him. Not because we need some made-up bullshit freedom spike. Because he's a BX series commando droid. And you mess with those things at your own peril.
Kadik, I'm at the first core.
Fire it up. We want as much power as you can get.
I'm unlocking it. He's gonna survive, right?
He's a top-of-the-line battle droid, K, but he's an old one. No guarantees.
You see what I'm getting at here? They've contrived this whole freedom spike bullshit to explain why it's so dangerous and risky to remove ND5's restraining bolt. But these things are not difficult to remove. And removing one does not change the personality of the droid that it's restraining.
I told you I'd find you.
You don't need any special prototype software to do it. The fact that it's on the chest of a BX series commando droid is what makes it dangerous, especially given that this particular BX series commando droid, whether he wants to or not, is being compelled to find and kill us. And in general is almost certainly under compulsion to react violently to anybody that tries to mess with the bolt in the first place. That's what makes it dangerous and tricky. They didn't need to make stuff up to justify it. The threat was already there. I mean, I'm unarmed. He's trying to kill me specifically because that's what Jalen's ordered him to do.
I fired up the second core. Okay, heading the infrared. Too much interference. Gotta lure him to the middle.
And it's extremely likely that he's understanding instructions to terminate anybody that tries to mess around with a restraining bolt in the first place. Which means we're going to have to contrive a way of stunning the BX series commando droid in order to get anywhere near that restraining bolt.
Okay,
That's the tricky part.
Here I am.
It's not going to change his personality. The bolt itself isn't difficult to remove. They didn't need to make this shit up. And yes, I can run through an energy discharge that's strong enough to stun a commando droid, and I'm perfectly fine.
I'm sorry, Kay.
And of course, all we had to do this whole time was shoot the thing. Because restraining bolts aren't special.
Andy?
Kay!
I didn't think you had it in you. They made those BX units tough. Blast her.
No.
Didn't change his personality either, did it? And don't tell me that was the freedom spike. That didn't work.
Not bad. I'll take this.
You okay?
Never better.
Good. Because I can't breathe in this thing.
He grabbed my hand before I could get the freedom spike in. That was us shooting the restraining bolt off. It is that simple.
I'm not going to apologize. I did what I had to do.
I never asked, Asara.
Look, the Codex can save a lot of lives. You took on the most powerful force in the galaxy to save a friend. I'm just trying to save mine.
The ironic thing here, I mean, I've spent the best part of this episode explaining why the whole freedom spike thing is complete and utter bullshit. And I didn't even need to, because the writers did it themselves.
Can you hear me? I've got Asara and ND5 here, and
Oh,
we
this
can
game,
really
man.
use that turbo lift.
Got it. There's one side ahead. I'm calling it for you.
The writers have spent this entire game, or well, ever since we recruited Gadik, explaining why you have to use a freedom spike to get ND5's restraining bolt off, and then we just shoot it off with a blaster. Yeah, anyway. Don't worry, it's nearly over. Just got to get off the ship now. Although I'm curious to know what happened to Rico, or Mother. She was in on Jalen's little scam the whole time. Where's she disappeared to? And then, of course, the second I drop the rotary cannon, all the bad guys appear. Oh well, I've got my blaster back now. It's all good. But yeah, you got to love the writing. You have to do this thing. It won't work without the thing. You have to use the thing. And then it works without the thing. Oh, Ubisoft. Don't ever change.
Okay.
Is that it? Oh no, reinforcements. I can't even remember which gear set I'm using. Although possibly it's the gunslinger gear. Actually, yes, because the last thing I did on the breakout from Slero's mansion, because I knew we were getting into a running fight, was changing to the gunslinger gear. So yeah, this is not going to be difficult. More of them from the other side. Lots of handy explosives scattered around the place. Adrenaline rush back up. Definitely wearing gunslinger gear if I'm getting adrenaline rush up this quickly.
You know, I'm not liking our chances either. Get on that lift now.
Starting to get overwhelmed here, but well, the good thing about getting constantly shot at is it just charges up adrenaline rush so much quicker, and everybody I kill during an adrenaline rush recharges my health. So I don't even need to use the Bacta. Still, oh crap, Death Troopers. Yeah, okay, I might need to use the Bacta bombs. Oh shit! Ooh, that's really bad. Need to get into cover. Oh, that one's dead. Okay, but there is... Yep, still another one over there. That should be it. Yep, he's the last one. That was actually pretty close. Turns out I did need to use the Bacta after all. Why am I... This is really weird. There's clearly a stormtrooper over there, but I'm not in combat. What the hell? Yeah, you can see him there. Right, now I'm not... That was weird. I mean, I was still clearly in combat, and yet I wasn't in the combat state. Whatever. There's the turbo lift. Anytime you're ready, Asara. You know, in your own time. No rush.
ND5, Asara, I can't believe you pulled this off.
Yeah. Can we please just get out of here?
And we're in another huge gunfight. But I mean, I'm wearing the correct gear for it, so it's not going to be that difficult.
They're not going to run out of stormtroopers. We gotta go.
Okay, this is... That sounds like a hint to me that this is some kind of gauntlet. So they're going to keep coming, but I can't just run out into the open with a bunch of death troopers. So we're going to thin their numbers down. Wow, there's a lot of them. And they all count as elites. Oh, this is bad. Move. I just need to run, I think. I'm just... yeah. Which way am I supposed to be going? Alright. Let's stick with the plan. Adrenaline rush. This way. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the covering fire, guys. Oh, that sounds like there's a lot of them behind me. I think I'm supposed to be going this way. Yes.
Anytime now.
Actually, you know, I think, yes, I can just shut this door. Well, then again, I mean, if I can shut it, they can open it. Let's just go. Notice how the other three just fucked off. Through the door without waiting for me. Thanks, fellas.
ND, fire up the hyperdrive.
Evo base, do you read?
Thais, Gobas de Huha.
Kivo base, respond. Daniel, you need to evacuate.
Hyperdrive's online. Ready to jump.
Sarah? You're breaking up. Say
The Empire knows where you are. Can you hear me?
Diverting power to deflectors.
Deflectors? Are you serious?
Gigi Sapola Taklish?
Sarah, keep trying.
A distress beacon.
Calling in some favors. I hope.
You see, there is a point to increasing your reputation with the other criminal syndicates, and it's not just because of the gear and favours that they grant you. I think, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but it would be really cool if this was the case. But who turns up to help you in the fight against the Revelator at the end of the game is determined by the reputation levels that you have with the various different crime syndicates.
Reading 3 battle squadrons of TIE fighters.
Okay. I'm gonna see what this old ship's really made of.
On our left.
On it!
Kivo base, do you read? We have a Star Destroyer moving into bombardment position. Daniel, can you hear me? Nothing's getting through. Why isn't this working? Try to boost the signal.
Better not be stealing power from the deflectors.
Daniel! Kivo base! Do you read?
And while it is completely possible to play this entire game without ever once engaging with any of the space combat sections, beyond those that are essential to the plot, but you're still going to want to have upgraded the Trailblazer and perhaps unlocked some of the expert abilities like the barrel roll and the loop here, because if you haven't and you're basically flying a stock Trailblazer, this is going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. Not impossible, and just by playing the game you're going to constantly be gathering upgrade materials for the ship, and well, you've got nothing better than ship upgrades to spend them on, so you're unlikely to be playing this with a stock ship.
I can't get through to the base. They gotta have a jammer that's blocking communications.
K, for the message to reach the rebels, you must destroy it.
I hear you.
But it is possible, if you've been ignoring the space combat bits, that you won't have taken down an Imperial Gazanta class cruiser before, which is what we have to do here, because that's the one jamming on communication. Ordinarily you'd get to do this, well, you know what happens when you reach maximum wanted level on the surface of a planet, the Death Trooper squad gets sent out to find you. Well, if you do the same thing in space, you have to take down one of these. And you probably don't want this to be the first time you're doing it. And it's at this point where the Empire remember that they have tractor beams.
I lost control. Why have I lost control?
Locking the tractor beam.
Sarah, acknowledge.
Daniel, did you get out?
You can say that.
Okay. Not bad.
But not enough.
What now?
Someone's answered the distress beacon.
Kusa.
The Asiga have answered your call.
And thank you for answering, Your Highness. Queen Ashiga.
We require an exchange.
Which is...
The Codex. We will take it.
Ah, great. Deal.
Tell your rebel friends that we are allies. For today.
I think at this point the Ashiga were the only syndicate that I still had excellent reputation with.
Syndicates on Bilio, Krish Tugamna. Songri.
How about we get moving before they change their minds?
Agreed.
Or it could just be that instead of backing the pro-imperial Ashiga queen, I backed her anti-imperial daughter instead.
But if that Star Destroyer opens fire on the factory, the damage to Mira will be catastrophic.
I hear you. We need to find a way to stop it. Can we even hurt that thing?
Not through those shields. Okay. You need to destroy the shield generators.
Yeah, this next part, in all fairness, you can't really blame Ubisoft's writers for this. This is just something about Star Wars that has never made any sense.
Okay, Denyon, tell me straight. Do we stand a chance against this thing?
There's always hope.
Oh, not bad odds.
In order to take the Star Destroyer shields down, we need to destroy the shield generators. And that sounds perfectly logical. Until you look at it in slightly more detail.
There it goes.
Aren't the shield generators protected by the shields that they're generating? And if you can destroy the shield generators, and I have just blown one of them up,
How's your new queen doing on Kijimi?
why do we need to destroy the shield generators? Because we can clearly get through the shields, whether the generators are up or not. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to destroy... You see where this is... Yeah, it's never made any sense.
Shields are down. The reactor is vulnerable.
Got it. Signal our friends that we're starting our attack.
And because I'm a massive Star Wars nerd, I don't need no objective marker to tell me where the reactor is on an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I took care of that. Now it's just the rest.
Although, why it would be located in such an obviously vulnerable position is anybody's guess. But, you know, it's just Star Wars.
Picking up internal explosions. And a chain reaction in the Revelator's ion drives.
Never thought I'd see this.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, Jingles, just shut up and watch the pretty explosions.
Look, just saying. What I've pulled from the Codex, Jalen was right. We can't tip the scales against the Empire.
Don't you dare try to recruit me again, Asara.
We got lucky.
Taking out the Star Destroyer for no money is lucky?
I'm warning you, don't do it. I have a gun.
We could use you.
He just can't help himself, can he?
I think I'm done being used. Just be careful out there, Asara.
What about you?
Banki Danko. Ventaminor luna de tabola, Chinuma. Titokitas ligatun.
That's too bad. I think I got the job. Lots of droids and casinos.
Troy ubakava pagwa.
And safes to blow to pieces.
Okay, Uganolea.
You two have fun. But I'll bail you out when you mess it up. I figure I owe you one.
So are you picking up their tab, or am I? You still want your room?
Just keep the lights on, Bram.
As long as you need.
There is still one loose end, though. Oh, well, okay, make that two.
Was wondering when you'd show up. Just here for my 20%. 10. But how about something better? I thought the Codex was lost in battle. To everyone else. I figure there's enough secrets in there for someone to start their own business. Just don't forget me when you rule the underworld. Could use a partner. Already got one. But hey, I'm easy enough to track down, right?
You could have just given Vela 20%, because, I mean, you know, 20% of nothing is still nothing. But what happened to Mum? Where did she disappear to? Because don't forget, She betrayed me. She stitched me up in order to stay in with Jalen. So what happened to her?
So, where do we go next?
Anywhere we want, Andy.
And that, kids, was Star Wars Outlaws. And I did enjoy it, even though it's definitely not worth $70 of anybody's money. And as predicted, it's already on sale at a 25% discount on Steam. And I do appreciate that they kept the level of stupid to an acceptable minimum. It's just unfortunate that some of the stupid concerned some fairly major plot elements that were impossible to ignore, like the whole Freedom Spy thing. But at least it wasn't relentlessly stupid from start to finish. I mean, it's no Far Cry 6. And let's not forget, I mean, this is technically Disney Star Wars, so it could easily have been a whole lot worse. Although that isn't exactly high praise, is it? It could have been worse. I can't see Ubisoft ever using that quote in their promotional material. Star Wars Outlaws, it's Disney Star Wars, so it could have been a lot worse. I can't really ever see that catching on. But anyway, about that one unresolved plot thread.
The best slicer in the galaxy, caught for using March credits. Jalen Brax was clever, wasn't he?
I see you read my file.
10 crews in 9 years. No home, no family, and absolutely no attachments. Except for one. You have any idea what this is?
Cheap bet at the fathier track?
A tracker. A strong one, too. Custom build. I'd say at least 10 years old. Whoever built this wanted to know exactly where their mark was at all times. Makes sense. You can't trust someone's always gonna be there. But that's what makes it matter when they are.
Not bad. For an Imperial.
I'd say this one needs a bit more time to think about what she's done. On me, Trooper.
Personally, I'd have left her there to rot. But then again, I never claimed to be anything other than an evil gnome overlord. But anyway, that was Star Wars Outlaws. And it could have been worse. I think that's going to have to be the title of this episode. Well, it could have been worse. But I did at least enjoy it. And hopefully the three of you who have stuck with us all the way through to the end have enjoyed it too. As Kay pets an invisible Nix who suddenly teleports from behind her to, I mean, seriously, come on, Ubisoft. Try harder. Oh, I'm done making excuses for this game. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.